Tonight with that story about a man who was supposed to be helping to solve crimes. Now a North Texas detective is accused of ignoring dozens of cases for years.
And in some of those cases, we understand the department says that led to more victims. As our I-Team's Kelsey Mittauer found, it took years to realize what was happening.
January 2025, a promotion at Keller PD uncovered a problem several years in the making.
Well, we had a new lieutenant that came in, did an audit of all the cases, and that's when he brought it to our attention.
Chief Brad Fortune says dozens of reports filed between 2019 and 2022 were still sitting open. All had been assigned to Michael Reilly, a detective who had been promoted out of the unit.
He left in 22 to go to patrol. We allowed him to assume cases, several cases, that he kept with him that weren't being actively worked.
An internal audit obtained by the I-Team found 55 cases with problems. 16 had to be closed right away because the statute of limitations had already passed. In 23 cases, records showed Reilly had never even contacted the victims. Other detectives took on the rest of the cases, including one report about a little girl.
Initially, there was a female child who was sexually assaulted when she was very young, approximately 7. Detective Reilly was assigned the case. He did an initial forensic interview, and then after the interview, we didn't have any further notes or investigative leads from Detective Reilly.
That was in October of 2020, but the little girl's case remained unworked until this year.
We reassigned this case to a current detective, and she reviewed the forensic interview that happened and felt that there were sufficient leads to go on.
Keller Police arrested Clinton Mosley in May, but this woman says it was already too late.
They didn't do their jobs, and that harmed our children.
She says she met Mosley in 2022, 2 years after he was first reported to Keller PD. She considered him a family friend until this year.
I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw a post of another mom saying, if you know this person, Clinton Wayne Mosley, don't trust him. If you've ever left your kids with him alone, you need to talk to them.
That is when she started asking her own daughters about the man they considered a fun uncle. She says she discovered Mosley had sexually abused her 10-year-old and taken inappropriate photos of her 8-year-old.
I feel sad for all the kids that are affected.
Your findings say that there were more children who were victimized because of Detective Reilly's inaction. I mean, what is that like for you?
It's horrible. It's what our job, it's why we're here, is to protect those vulnerable populations and to prevent crime when we can. And this was an opportunity that we could have given justice to this child and prevented others from being harmed, and we didn't do our job.
In a memo to the chief in March, Reilly gave several reasons for the lack of follow-up, including uncertainty on how to close complicated investigations, a high caseload, and challenges contacting people during the pandemic.
In my eyes, those are circumstances that we could have worked through, but they're not reasons for just not doing the job.
In May, 5 months after the audit, Fortune decided to fire Reilly, but allowed him to resign instead. The chief says the ordeal exposed even bigger issues within the department.
How does a detective ignore cases for years and it goes unnoticed?
Right. And that was a question I was asking because it's a systemic problem. It was a problem that our processes did not have as much specificity as it should have.
Chief Fortune says he's implemented new weekly updates on cases, new audits, and a detailed plan for what happens when a detective leaves the unit. He says he is determined to make sure no case falls through the cracks again.
We have a responsibility to the citizens of Keller and all residents around us that we protect them.
Well, you look at that and quite a number of wows in this thing. So Kelsey's joining us, obviously, in the studio. What do we know in addition regarding the Mosley case specifically?
Right. So the mother that I spoke with in that case, she filed her case in Lampasas County. The sheriff's office there is in the middle of filing its own charges against him. Okay. Mosley has not entered a plea in either case, the Keller case or this one. He is still in Tarrant County Jail. Right. And his attorney didn't want to talk to us about it.
So they didn't want to say anything regarding it?
No, it's so early in it because it just, everything started happening happening this year.
Right. Really was allowed to resign, obviously,
Yes.
from the Keller Police Department. Do we have any idea where he is now?
Yes, and so he is still a police officer. He resigned from there in May, and then in August he started working for the North Lake Police Department. It's a smaller town near Texas Motor Speedway, so kind of still in the same area. I reached out to him there. I reached out to his chief. They didn't want to sit down and interview, didn't really want to respond to me at all.
All right, Kelsey, thank you so very much. Kelsey Mittauer with the I-Team. Remember, CBS News Texas I-Team works directly for you. If you got a tip on a story, you got a question for them, you can reach them all the time by phone, 817-586-7211, or if email's a better route for you, iteam@ktvt.com.